Welcome back. As you know, I am Eli, the computer guy, here for the Daily Blob, where I shake my brain nips every day to get some of that dirty YouTube money so I can pay for what I actually care about is Silicon Dojo. SiliconDojo.com, free to the end user, hands-on technology education that empowers you to do whatever the hell it is you want to do in Durham, North Carolina. We just did a class on OpenAI API on November 5th. We're going to be doing a class on AI with a SQL using databases. Basically, this is just education. You sign up for, you come, you get some hands-on experience, and then you go the hell away. Do remember, free to the end user isn't actually free. There's a little donor box link down below if you want to support the things that I'm doing. And with that, let me shake some brain nipples to get money for the class coming up on November 5th. So wow, I get two of these videos in a day. This makes me so excited. It makes me so excited to see how screwed people are. To see how screwed people are. I know. We all have our hobbies. Hey, look. I don't ask you what porn you watch. You know, you do you. I shake my nips for the layoffs. So I think this is interesting. Again, just with the whole economy thing. Talked recently, I don't know, last video or whatever, talked about 1,800 Target layoffs in their corporate division. And it's just important to understand that the layoffs are continuing, even with the tech companies and things. And a lot of this has to do with Trump policy. Again, you may say Eli has TDS. My response is, and you don't. But I think this is an important thing to look at, again, thinking about with your career and where you set yourself up in life, because the economic disaster we are in the beginning. I would say we are in the beginning of this crap show. The latest thing, like there's so much stuff, but to rehash it would take up an entire video if I go over it every time. The latest thing is that China may be restricting precursors to drugs now. Right? So they did the rare earths thing. So we did the tariffs, they did the rare earth thing, and now we're doing more tariffs or whatever. So anyways, they're talking about basically the ingredients for drugs, for pharmaceuticals. Yeah, so they produce just a tremendous amount of the precursors that the world needs. So they're literally looking at turning off the tap for the precursors for pharmaceuticals. So that's real. Go Google it. So that's the world we're in. So it's important. It's important to understand where we are. Where are we, mommy? Mommy? Where are we? So anyways, I think it's interesting, again, with everything going on. So Rivian is laying off more than 600 workers. So Rivian is supposed to be a great company, right? I've heard nothing but good things about the Rivian vehicles. They seem to be growing, so actually producing vehicles, that seems to be growing, but they need to do layoffs. Why? Because it's 2025. And everybody does layoffs. Detroit, Rivian Automotive is laying off roughly 4.5% of its workforce as the all-electric vehicle maker faces growing market challenges, according to a note sent to employees. In the message, Rivian founder CEO RJ Scaringe said the cuts largely involved restructurings of its marketing, vehicle operations, and sales, delivery, and mobile operations teams. Quote, these are not changes that we make lightly. We do not take it lightly that you're not going to be able to pay your mortgage. With the changing operating backdrop, we had to rethink how we are scaling our go-to-market functions. This news is challenging to hear, and the hard work and contributions of the team members who are leaving are greatly appreciated. Thank you for all your hard work. Get the fuck out. Rivian had just under 15,000 employees at the end of last year. The note did not specify how many employees would be laid off. The Wall Street Journal, which first reported the plans, said the layoffs would affect more than 600 workers, which a source familiar with the plans confirmed. Rivian and other EV manufacturers are increasingly facing a more challenging market than they did in recent years amid changing regulations under the Trump administration, including the elimination of a $7,500 federal incentive for purchasing an EV. One of the big things you have to understand from an economic standpoint, whether or not you think the federal government should have been providing these incentives, right? There's a policy decision, right? There's a policy decision that is an argument. Should the government help financially support a particular market sector, such as electric vehicles, right? And so here's the thing, right? You can have an argument about that. Should the government help support each vehicle sale with a $7,500 deduction? Should it be more than $7,500? Should it be less than $7,500? $7,500? Should it be zero? Right? These are all policy arguments. But the thing to understand, right, is that these incentives have been around for a long time. I forget when they came into effect. They have been around for a long time. And so a lot of businesses, right, these electric vehicle businesses, they built their business model based off of trusting the US government, right? And what Trump is proving to everybody is you can't fucking trust Trump. Right? And so the thing is, right, they've created this business model around those incentives, right? And so when you hire people, when you get facilities in the whole 9 yards, you're doing all of your math, you're trying to figure things out. It's always a bet, but you're looking at the math. And so one of the things in that math is that $7,500 incentive per vehicle sold, right? Trump is just pulling that. Trump is just like, nope. You don't get that incentive anymore. It's not that it's going from $7,500 to $6,500 to $4,500 or whatever over 4 years. He has not come out and said, by the end of my administration, we will have eliminated this giveaway to electric vehicle owners, right? That would be a thing. No, he's like, fuck you, it's gone. So you have these businesses that have built their business models off of these types of incentives, and those incentives just simply disappeared overnight, and they have to figure out how the hell they're going to keep functioning. How the hell do you keep functioning? Again, if you're looking at your profit and loss, is you remove your losses. How can I remove liabilities and keep this business functional? The way to remove liabilities is one of your number one cost is always going to be employees. So therefore, the fastest way to eliminate liabilities is to eliminate employees. And that is Trump policy. That is the Trump policy that we're going to be having for the next over 4 years or over 3 years. Aside from regulatory issues, Rivian also faces a slower than expected EV demand and a lack of new products until next year. Amid needs for cash and earnings losses, the company lost $1.1 billion during the second quarter. So the other interesting thing, like with Rivian, is will they be able to continue to get investor cash flow in to keep the business functional, right? So again, with these businesses, you can either have revenue, which gives you profit to keep your business going, or you can have investment or grants or whatever from the government. Basically what they're dealing with here is, right, they've got losses as they try to scale up. The government's screwing around, changing the environment that they're working in. And one of the big questions is are the investors going to continue to keep floating this particular boat? Which, I don't know. It'll be a question. Rivian's vehicle sales increased 32% to 13,201 units year over year during the third quarter. Buyers hurried to purchase an EV. Let's see, but the company's 2025 delivery forecast was narrowed from as many as 46,000 units to between 41,500 and 43,500. So anyways, that is where we are with Rivian. What will happen with Rivian at the end of the day? Who knows? Who knows? Oh, what will happen with any of us? What will the end of 2026 look like? Remember 2020? Remember 2020? We're like, oh, I can't wait for this dumpster fire to end. Do you realize 2020 is 4 years ago? Do you realize the end of 2020 is 4 years ago? It is the dumpster fire that has no end. It keeps going on, my friend. Someone started burning shit in a dumpster, not knowing what it was. And it kept on burning because it is a dumpster fire that has no end. So anyways, what do you think about this? What do you think about Rivian laying off 600 workers? What do you think about this, again, for the business environment? Whether you agree or disagree with the policy decisions on whether the government should be giving preferential treatment or whatever to electric vehicles, what do you think about these kind of policies coming into place so quickly? Again, on top of the tariffs and everything else that is currently happening. How do you feel? How do you feel about the economy and all that? I don't know. Put your thoughts down below. Give us a thumbs up if you like the videos. Give us a thumbs down if you hate them. Call me amazing. Call me a moron. Just be a real Lutnick and do it down there in the comment section. Do remember silicondojo.com is my pride and joy. We just did a class on OpenAI API in Durham, North Carolina. We're going to be doing a class on AI and SQL databases. That's going to be coming up on November 5th. On November 19th, we're going to be doing a class on AI and web scraping. Basically, free to the end user hands-on technology education that empowers you to do whatever it is you want to do. You RSVP, you show up. If you RSVP, show the fuck up, and then you get to learn, right? It's there. Do remember, free to the end user is not actually free. If you want to throw some money into that donut box link down below, that would be ever so lovely. And with that, see y'all later.